Hello everyone, this is Tuesday's English lesson, and today we'll be learning how to write a fact sheet, or in this case, a leaflet using the Purple Mash programme. We're going to be using the information that we found yesterday about the Great Fire of London, so you'll need your fact-finding recording sheet that you filled in yesterday. If you haven't had a chance to do yesterday's English lesson yet, you will need that information, so it might be an idea to stop this lesson, go back, do Monday's lesson today, and then you'll be able to either carry on this afternoon with this one or do it another day, that's fine, but you will need the information for this. Bearing that in mind, yesterday we should have all looked at some videos, read some fact files, and written some information down about the Great Fire of London. If you need to refresh your memory a little bit, it might be a nice idea to go back to Monday's OneDrive folder, open up the links to one of the videos, and have another little watch, just to refresh your mind, and then we'll all be ready for it. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to open and use the Purple Mash programme, and also how to transfer the information from the bullet points on your sheet from yesterday into lovely full sentences for someone to read on your fact file. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen with you. What you need to do is you need to get on the internet, go to the school website and log in for Purple Mash. You go to the links tab, don't you, at the top of the screen on the website. When you've got into Purple Mash, you need to go to the to-dos folder. That's that little red icon that looks like a clipboard, and it's got the number 2 and the word do's next to it. If you click on that, you should find a folder in there called Great Fire of London Fact Sheet, and that will open this document here that I'm sharing with you now. It looks pretty blank at the moment, doesn't it? But don't worry, we're going to fill it in. Just to show you the basics, in case you haven't done something like this on Purple Mash before. There are some things that I've put in here to help you. The first thing is this box that comes up here on the right. It's called the clip art box. I've filled that with pictures about the Great Fire of London. Okay, so we've got a couple of pictures that are just general fire pictures, a couple of pictures about the bakery being on fire, about the houses being close together, how people fought the fire, the damage caused by the fire, and Samuel Pepys. Okay, so it matches roughly the titles in those little boxes that you filled in yesterday. If this box gets in your way and you don't want to see it for a while, you can just click the top symbol here, this box that's got 4 little pictures in, and it makes it disappear. When you want it back, click the button again and it'll appear. The other thing that's quite useful, I have put some success criteria in here for you. It's called a writing checklist in Purple Mash, but it's the same thing. If you go to this green button with the white tick on it and click it, that's your writer's checklist. If you don't want it over this side, again, you can just click and hold down with your mouse and drag it around the screen wherever you want it. I'd put it over here at the bottom. Again, if you don't want it for any reason, if it gets in the way of your work, just press that green tick again and it will disappear. You can bring it back whenever you want, okay? All right, so let's start, shall we? The first page is like the front page of a book, okay? It's your title page. So you need a nice picture to tell everybody what this leaflet is going to be about, and you need a nice, clear title. You can't just leave it with the word title. On every page, I've given you a little clue as to what you should be writing. You can delete that and put your own text in, it's fine. It's just there to help you. So we want a nice picture. I think I'm going to go with this nice contemporary image. Remember, contemporary images are those that were made near or at the same time as the event. So you just left click with your mouse and drag it across into the picture box here at the top. Now it's too small at the moment, not a problem. See the dots around the outside? Click on that, it's called the net. And like a net, you can spread it out or make it smaller, okay? So click and hold the mouse down and drag it to the right size and let go. Okay, you can also move it around a bit inside that box. Okay. Now, to type, click next to the writing that's in the bottom box already. Okay, like I said, you can delete that, that's not a problem. Get rid of it using the backspace button. We want a nice, clear title that lets a reader know what this fact sheet is all about. Is it about eating bananas? Is it about going on holiday to Spain? Now, it's about the Great Fire of London, isn't it? So I'm just going to write the Great Fire of London. And then we need to know who this is by. So I'm going to press the return button, make it go down a line, by Mrs. Bolton. Yours will have your name on. Now, if that is as much as you can manage with your typing, because I know some people are quite slow at typing, some people are quite fast at typing, some people enjoy it, some people don't. As long as you get your information down, that is the most important bit. Remember, this is an English lesson more than it's an ICT lesson. It's fine if you want to change the font and change the size and make it look pretty, that's brilliant. The most important point is to get the facts down. I am going to show you how to change the font, because for some people that will be a good extra challenge. So because this is my title, I want it nice and big. So I can highlight, left click with the mouse, drag from start to finish, let go. I can highlight the text I want. And then if I go up to the top here, look, I have a capital A button. That's my font button. I click on that and I get this lovely menu underneath. So I'm going to change the font size. And I think I'm going to make it quite big. I think 8 probably. There we go. I'm going to change my font family. Okay, that just means font type. It's the same thing. And I'm going to make it nice and big and bold. I think I'm going to go with impact here. And this button here with the coloured bar underneath changes the colour of the text. I'm going to go for a nice flame red. I wouldn't worry too much about that last one. It just kind of highlights the writing. It looks better without it, to be honest, but it's up to you. Okay. So there we are, look, now I've got a nice big text. It's changed the colour for Mrs. Bolton as well. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to centralise it. So these buttons here with the lines on, the one where all the lines are kind of in the middle is centralised. Okay, lovely. So I've got my fantastic title page. Now for the important bit. That was nice, but we need to get our facts and information down. If you see down here on the bottom of the first page, there's a little arrow. That just means it'll turn the page for you. Okay, so I'll just show you here. And then again in the middle, so it opens up like a book, like a leaflet does, okay? So we'll go back, just have this bit. Now my writing checklist's in the way a little bit here, isn't it? We'll go through that now before I close it. So when I'm writing my facts and information, I need to try and make sure I use all of these. Have I given my report a good title? Well, we just have, haven't we? So I can give that a big tick. Yes, I have. So I can tick that box, done. Have I used subheadings? Subheadings just mean mini titles at the top of each section so that your reader knows what that bit of writing is going to be about. We're just about to do one of those, so I'll show you in a minute. I have included relevant facts. Again, we're going to do some typing in a minute. That's the information that you should have on that sheet. I'll bring mine back up so you can have a look at it in a minute. Have I used full stops and capital letters? Remember, this is an English lesson. These are basic English skills, so we need to make sure we're doing them even when we're typing. Have I thought carefully about my spellings? I'll show you in a minute that I've got a word mat that you can use as well to help you with some of the topic words. Have I used conjunctions to extend and explain my ideas? Have I used the word because? This is a really important piece of writing to use because helps us to explain. Have I used and to add more detail to my writing? Okay. Do my pictures match my facts and subheadings? Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this checklist for a minute. I'll bring it back up when I need it, okay? So I'm going to click that green button with the tick on. I'll get rid of it. Now I can see my work. Lovely. So let me stop sharing this screen just a second. I'm going to share with you my fact-finding sheet. Now I've finished it off. Yesterday I only had a few facts on there. I filled it in now. So do you remember yesterday? We went and found information, didn't we? We had to put them in the right boxes. We used bullet points, so there wasn't a lot of detail. It was just straightforward facts. And if you look at the top, I gave you some little subheadings, didn't I? Where and when, how, fighting the fire, Samuel Pepys, damaged cause, to help you organise your facts so they were in groups together. We're going to use that today to help set out our fact file. So where and when, there are my facts. The fire started in a bakery on Pudding Lane. It started on Sunday the 2nd of September 1666. It lasted for 5 days. You might have different facts to those. You should have some of them that are the same, but you might have added extra ones. That's brilliant. You add as much information as you can. That's what will make your report brilliant. Okay, so there are mine. I've had a little look to remind myself. I'm going to go back to my Purple Mash program now. Here we go. So when and where. This is going to become my subheading. And at the moment, it isn't very interesting, is it? When and where. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that text. So I'm going to click on it, get rid of it. Actually, I might just put when and where the fire started. That's now going to be my subheading, okay? A subheading is on a line by itself. Remember, it's like a little mini title. We'll come back and edit that in a moment, but I'm just going to press the enter button twice like that to give myself a little bit of space. So my text will now be down here. So my reader can tell the difference between what's the subheading and what's my paragraph of writing. Okay, I'm going to bring my pictures back up. Click on that little box at the top, remember? This time it's when and where the fire started. Where did it start? Thomas Farriner's bakery, wasn't it? So I've got two pictures I can choose between. I've got Thomas Farriner putting the bread in the oven, not like our oven, look. It's a brick built oven, that one. And I've also got the bakery on fire. So you can choose whichever one you like. I'm going for this one. Remember, left click, drag and hold it down, drag it across. Use the net, the buttons around the outside. Go for a corner button because that makes it expand in both directions equally. Okay, I'm going to just fill that box. There we go. Now I can focus on my writing. So I'm going to use those facts from my fact-finding sheet about it starting in the bakery, about it being on the 2nd of September 1666, about, I might leave how long it lasted. I might put that somewhere else. I'll come back to that and have a think in a minute. But I'm going to try and put all the facts I can about this subheading in this section. Am I going to start writing about Samuel Pepys here? No. I'm going to save that for later for another subheading. I'm only going to put the facts that are relevant to this subheading in this section. Okay, so when and where the fire started. The Great Fire, I'm going to give it its full name. Now, the important thing to remember, don't just copy off your sheet from yesterday. It's very tempting. Try and add a bit more information, better language, use of conjunctions, okay? Try and add all that in to make this a better piece of writing, okay? So the Great Fire of London started. Now, I didn't write it down yesterday because I didn't have enough room in my box, but I know it started early in the morning. So there's a bit of extra information I can put in. The Great Fire of London started early in the morning on the 2nd of September. Oops. If I make a mistake, I can just backspace, that's fine. On the 2nd of, oh, did you see there it jumped? If you fill the box with typing, it doesn't matter. It'll keep making the font automatically smaller so that you can fit more and more and more in that box. Isn't that clever? So you just keep typing till you finish. Don't worry about filling the space. It will sort that out for you. The Great Fire of London started early in the morning on the 2nd of September, 1666. In a bakery on Pudding Lane. I might want to add in there who owned the bakery. We know that it was Thomas Farriner and he was the King's baker. So I might put that in there. Okay, so when and where the fire started. That will do for now because I want you to get on with your work. Just going to remind you one more time how to change that font. Okay, so I want my subheading to look different to the rest of my writing. So it's clearly a subheading. So I'm going to highlight just that bit of writing. I'm going to come back up here to the top look. I'm going to change my font size a little bit. I'm going to make that 7, so it's a bit bigger. I'm going to change it to impact, same as the title on my title page. Oh, I don't want all of it done. Oops, that's fine. We can always highlight that bit again. I think that was my fault, wasn't it? There we go. Highlight it. If it stops being highlighted, just highlight it again. Sometimes it forgets itself. And I'm going to change my colour to that flame red. Okay, so I've got a nice picture that matches what I'm talking about. I've got a nice clear subheading and I've got some facts and information from yesterday that I've added to give myself more detail today. If I bring up my writing checklist again, I've used a subheading now. I've used relevant facts. I'm going to check it through. I'm going to read my writing back to myself. The Great Fire of London started early in the morning on the 2nd of September 1666 in a bakery on Pudding Lane. I've used capital letters, look, and full stops, so I can get that one ticked off. Have I thought carefully about my spellings? Again, I can go back and check. If there's a word I'm not sure about, I can check. I can look at my word log. I can ask a grown-up and anybody is around. I think I'm all right there. I'm just going to have a little look, make sure I haven't made a mistake. Oh, September. It's a good job I checked, isn't it? September doesn't have that extra E in, does it? September, that's better. Great Fire of London started early in the morning on the 2nd of September, 1666 in a bakery on Pudding Lane. That's better. I've checked my spellings. I can tick that box. Have I used conjunctions? Not yet. I might have to make sure I put that in one of my other sections. And do my pictures match my facts and subheadings? Excellent. So I've managed to tick all those off. As long as I keep doing those, it's no good to just do it once and say you've done it. It's got to be throughout your work. But just as an idea to show you how to use the checklist, that's what I do. Right. I'm not going to keep you much longer. You've done some fab listening. I just want to show you the rest of the leaflet. So if I open, remember the arrow in the corner turns the page. So we've got how and why. You might want to change that. So things like how did the fire start? How did it spread? That's a really important one, isn't it? How did the fire spread? Why did it spread so easily? Okay, so you might just want to change that to how the fire spread. All right, or why the fire spread so quickly or something like that. That's fine. So you've got the little questions which match your sheet from yesterday, change them to nice subheadings and then write your facts underneath. So how and why, fighting the fire. And then if we close it back up again, we've got damage. And then if we close it all up completely and flip it over, see the green arrow here, that flips the whole thing over, Samuel Pepys on the back. Okay, so you've got one page in the leaflet for each section on your sheet yet from yesterday. Okay, you're trying to put that information across onto this format. If you can, add more detail, add a little bit of explanation to make your writing even better. And that is it. Don't panic. If you think that this is a bit too much, remember, I am not expecting everybody to change the fonts or to do all that sort of thing. The important thing to do is to get your facts written down. Even if you keep the subheadings like I've done and here, that's fine. What I want to see is your writing from yesterday put into a fact file, okay? The extra bits would be brilliant. I would love to see people doing that, especially adding conjunctions and making your writing more detailed. But it would be lovely to see people using the purple mash to make it look beautiful as well, with lovely subheadings and pictures. But don't worry, okay? It's more important. It's an English lesson with an English objective to get those facts written down. Okay. I hope everybody understands what to do. If there are any problems at all, let's just stop sharing that. If there are any problems at all, like you can't access your purple mash or the to-do isn't in your folder, anything like that, please email me and let me know. It might take you more than just the time you've got today to do this job. So think of it as do a little bit at a time, if that helps. Okay, right. I look forward to seeing your fantastic reports. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.